Hi, Jason Stephenson. Welcome back to the Stephen Shiels radio show. How's things going with you?
Hey, Stephen, it's very good to be here, man, and thank you very much for having me here today. Things are going very well, considering all that's happening in the country and in the world today.
Mm,
Um, you know, I actually feel very blessed, very, very blessed, purely because I still have a job.
mm,
And I know that many people, and I'm not in lockdown. So, I've got a lot of freedom here. I'm in the country of South Australia.
mm,
So, yeah, I'm pretty lucky compared to many people.
mm. Yeah, Sydney, Australia's been hit by a hard lockdown. Gladys Berejiklian's pissed off a lot of people, Jason. You're from New South Wales, were you originally?
Yeah, I was from Wollongong.
Yep.
So I guess if I was there now, I would be in lockdown, right? Because I think they're in lockdown as well.
Mm. But
Yeah,
there's nothing we can do, I've got Insight Timer as well. That's been really good.
that's
I've
great.
created I was rereading Think and Grow Rich, and I created like a affirmation card. Oh,
Oh,
I did
oh,
that my own.
oh, wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful.
They,
And so you write them out on the back. You write out what you want.
yeah, what are they called? Like a goal card. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I've
that's
done that.
great.
Think and Grow Rich is a powerful book.
And it's very powerful. I've not read it for a while. I listened to the audio book of that too. I love that. Um, yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Lots of wisdom, right?
Mm. How's
Um,
South Australia? Because I remember you had a sleep course, and I asked, how do you get a good sleep when it's hot? And I know in the desert it gets hot at night. Tell us your
oh,
tips.
here it gets really, really hot, like very hot.
Mm,
We're on the edge, the southern edge of the Flinders Ranges, so about 3.5 hours drive north of Adelaide.
hmm
Very cold in the winter and very hot in the summer.
hmm
And yeah, so I've had to put up bear with some of those really hot nights, and sometimes it's difficult. It's very difficult, but there are some little tools that you can use to help.
mm,
I can't promise that when if you haven't got air conditioning, or if you're in one of those small little hot houses,
mm,
there's no escaping the heat. You can put sort of uh, wet cloths on your head, which I've done sometimes myself. But I think there's simple things like even just when we get the problem is when we begin to get aggravated, right?
mm,
When we're tossing and turning, and we're getting feeling more and more agitated and grumpy. And what that ends up doing is it doesn't make things better, right? It
mm,
actually makes things worse because of and sometimes I even suggest, if things get that bad, then don't even try to go to sleep. Then get up for a while, do something,
mm,
because what you're doing is when you're tossing and turning, you're just aggravating the situation and making things worse, and then getting angrier with yourself because you're not sleeping. Oh, I've got to get up in another 2 hours. Oh, you wake up in about 10 more minutes. Oh, I've got to get up in 1 hour and 50 minutes.
mm,
Oh, and then I've got to get up in 1 hour and 30 minutes. And you keep watching the time, right?
mhm, mhm,
It's absolutely useless. So so some tips are just to get up, or take your mind off all the stuff that's going on and just shift your focus to your breathing.
mhm,
And it's discipline, right? It takes discipline. We have to discipline ourselves during these tough times. And whether that's hot weather, whether that's just stuff that's going on in your mind, that you're just turning over stuff in your mind, we have to discipline ourselves to take focus. And the breath is one thing that we can focus on, and it might be just putting your hands on the lower belly area, and
mm,
just paying attention to the breath going in, feeling that expansion, feel what happens, and then the breath going out. I know it sounds, you think, oh, well, how does that help? But these small things, what we're doing is we're just giving our mind a rest from focusing on that, and we're pulling it in to take charge and saying, okay, I'm going to take focus now. I'm going to do something to help this situation. It's not working, focusing on the problem, right? And this goes for so many things, Steve. This is like so many things, whether this is, it's even difficult times that you might be going through. It might be being, upset about being in a lockdown, or being, feeling aggression or hostility against someone that you've had troubles with. We can continue to focus on that. We can focus on that all we want, but what does that? We know what that does, right? That doesn't get us any better. So it's simply a matter of beginning to take charge and saying, I am responsible for how I feel now. So what am I going to do about it? Where do I want to?
It's a difficult time. Businesses, a lot of businesses have gone down. I'm sure your business has been affected too.
I've been, in a way, I've been very, very blessed, and I'm grateful for that, Steve, and I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, across the board, there are things that are going on, and I know many people, that are deeply affected by it. And my heart goes out to all the people that are. It really does. I sometimes feel that pain, I can feel that.
I started my business in a pandemic, so I'm in the very beginning. I haven't made a lot of money, but I love what I do.
Man, Steve, if you can love what you do, you are more than halfway there, brother. Mm-hmm. You are, I reckon you're 70, 80% there, because that's the crux of it. If we can get more of if we love what we do and we can get more of that, that's how it all begins to unfold. So you're on a beautiful path. You're on compared to 95% of many other people that actually don't like what they do.
Employee mindset. I noticed when I go to the cafe or in Woolies or Coles, the workers just look miserable.
And so hopefully that can be that can be an opportunity for you to to even brighten their day a bit and just say, hey, you going today? How things going for you? I know I do that here at this little shop down the road here, that I live in a little town, and I often just stop and take time just to listen to them, and they love that. People love to be heard, right?
Keep supporting your small businesses too, Jason, not a corporation. I'm fed up with Bunnings and Amazon. You buy something from them, they just bombard your email with newsletters. You unsubscribe, they keep doing it.
If ever we've got this opportunity to support small business now, I think it's really, really important, because, especially with these little businesses, many of them are collapsing in, Victoria and now New South Wales and across the place. And I put my hand up. I support as many of those little businesses as I possibly can.
Your course, I was very thankful for your free workshop that you created. Insight Timer, are you looking at doing more stuff with Insight Timer, or how do you feel about Insight Timer?
I think Insight Timer is a fantastic little app, a fantastic app. And, as time progresses and we can get some more manpower to get things up there, because it's, everything you do, right, it takes more time, okay? And I know it might sound so simple, but as soon as we can get more, whether it be staff or more, someone to swing and focus on that more, I tell you, I'm more than happy to do more Insight Timer, because I think it's a beautiful little app. I've got the app and many, many people on it. And you're doing stuff on it, Stephen?
Learning.
Okay, yep.
So
I put my hand up and say it's well worth it.
But business-wise, for you as a meditation teacher, how do you feel about that? Because I know they take their commission off your work. Is that correct?
Yeah. I think and YouTube take their commission too, which is they can be quite big too. But I think if you are focused again, I think this comes down to the focus thing. You could build a business on Insight Timer, just like you can build a business on wherever you go to. But I say it's good if you distribute it across a few platforms. That's how I think about business, distribute it across a few, so you're getting different forms of income from different places. But Insight Timer, if you just kept plugging away and building your audience, and I think it could be potentially quite reasonable.
Well, they hit 20 million users, which is good.
Wow. Yeah, that's huge.
It is. And I like Insight Timer because it's affordable as well. Are you looking at doing a course on there one day, or doing some live streaming?
Well, I think it'd be great. But what I want to do first is I want to do some more courses, put them on my own platform first. But again, everything's taking a bit of time, but I'm going to get to it. And I think Insight Timer would be a great place to do live streams too.
Teachers, because they're donation based too. I've noticed. So I've learned so much off Insight Timer, Jason.
Yeah, people can. So you can get money through subscriptions, but you can also get money through donation too. And I think that's a beautiful thing. If someone gains something from your meditation or something, they says, "Oh, I want to give that guy some money." I think that's a beautiful thing. Whether it be $5 or $2 or $10, every little tiny bit counts, right?
Now, living in South Australia, are you on a very high-speed internet for what you do, or an NBN?
Yeah. I've got to tell you something here. This little country town, I have better internet connection here than I did back in Wollongong.
No way.
I'm serious. It shocked me, because that was my biggest concern. I thought, if I move here, I've got to have internet. I'm like, I wonder how the internet goes. I remember checking it on my phone when I first moved here. I thought, it's not too bad. It's got like, 4 bars. I'm like, okay, this could be okay. And sure enough, I have, touch wood, but I have not had one issue out here. And back in Wollongong, I'm telling you, I can't count how many days I had no internet at all. So I'm very lucky.
Country town, because one day I'd like to move away from Sydney. Where's the nearest hospital from you? Shops, mechanic, pharmacy?
Well, the good thing is we've got a little hospital here.
Good on you.
Although it doesn't, I don't think they do operations as such. So what happens is if there's an accident or something, they have the Royal Flying Doctor Service come in, which they got a little airstrip.
Do you have to pay for that, or does the Medicare pay it?
We have to pay if we haven't got the yearly ambulance fee insurance, which I haven't paid. So I better pay, because if something goes wrong, like apparently it costs like thousands of dollars to fly from here to Adelaide. So you don't want to get stuck. Put it that way. It would be good. But maybe we have, there's little garages. So a couple of garages fix cars. We have a little food IGA thing, or Foodland, they call it here, and a chemist, and about 3 hotels, 3 pubs, one on every corner.
I've been out in the country of Kakadu, Jason. There's nothing out there. You break down, you're screwed.
But isn't it beautiful? Is it beautiful though, right?
Very hot and muggy. But do you carry a satellite phone with you in case you can't get anything, or you haven't had problems like that?
No, I haven't had problems like that. There's a couple of places between here and Adelaide where it drops out, where you don't get coverage at all. But I don't know. I just consider that someone will come past eventually, help you out. You hope, right?
I'd hope so. No, because South Australia gets very hot, doesn't it? Doesn't it hit nearly 50, or what's the water there?
Yeah. I've been out here. It hasn't been really hot for a couple of years, but I remember being out here probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was like, it was 49. I'm not sure if it ever got to 50, but it was 48, 49 for about 5 days in a row. Every single day, it just kept, and it was that unbearable that you would just open the door, and it was like putting your face into an oven, and you just go, this heat, and it was like, okay, shut the door, another day inside. You just couldn't function out there. It's too hot. And actually, even the farmers, Steve, what they do is the farmers, they can only work in the very early hours in the morning and at night time. So they might start at 4 a.m. to 9, and then they might start at 8 p.m. till 12 or 1, because it's that the fire danger is that high that one spark from their tractors, because it's so barren and dry, like one spark would just set the whole place. It'd just go up. Yeah, so it's pretty intense. It's very intense.
I'd love to go to South Australia. Well, what made you decide to move to the country outback?
I've had an affinity for the country since I was a kid, because I went around Australia with my parents back when I was about, what would I have been, about 10, 12, something? No, yeah, about 10, 9, 10. And I just loved the country. I love the peace. I love the space, the open spaces. And so, I don't know, and of course, houses are so much cheaper here. Like Sydney and Wollongong, it's very, very expensive, and houses here are literally 10 times cheaper. So that was a part of my reasoning as well, that I could afford to buy a house here, whereas in Wollongong or Sydney, I could never afford it.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know how people do it. Actually, it'd be very hard.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting fed up with it. I'd like to get out of Sydney.
So you're right in Sydney, right?
I'm Western Sydney way.
Oh, so are you in
near
one
Penrith.
Of the main lockdowns?
Yeah. Penrith, near Penrith way.
Yeah.
But it's life. You can't do anything about it, and just keep educating yourself.
Yeah, good on you.
Reading material. But your course was interesting. How long did it take for you to create it? And you're specializing in sleep, I noticed.
Yeah, I specialized. It was really a difficult one for me to come up with. What did I want to create a course in? Because I knew that I could do something for sleep, but I also wanted to do something to help empower the mind before sleep, because I really wanted to, for me, it wasn't just about getting a good night's sleep. It was about, a holistic approach. So not just sleep, but changing mindset. To me, that's a really important thing. And so we selected the topic, which, was backwards and forwards between myself and Jamie, who's another producer here in this company. And we finally did that, and it took a while to create this course. This course took at least, I'd say it was 12 months to 1.5 years to put it together, because it was just pulling things together bit by bit by bit. So it took a bit of time, but it was well worth it in the end. We got there and finally launched it. And but it took a bit of time. And also we got other people involved too. We got a guy to help do the videos for us, the video production as well, the slides. And so, it took a bit of time, but in the end, it's worth it, because then you've got it forever, right? It's there forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's it looked good, and who knows? I'll probably do it next time round it comes. I'd look forward to doing it as well.
Yeah. It'd be great to have you along there, Steve, too, mate.
And YouTube, how's your YouTube going?
YouTube's going very well. There's been, you know, it hasn't sort of gone down with the pandemic. It's kind of stabilized.
Mhm.
You know, it's going pretty good.
Mhm.
Again, as I said, compared to many businesses across the world, I guess people are tuning in to need to relax.
Mm.
People are tuning in to want to meditate more. Um, um, so hence the reason why the channel keeps going. It's sustainable. You know, it's not going down. Touch wood, of
Do
course.
you get any trolls or nasty comments? I do. I just block them.
Absolutely, mate. That's what you got to do. Yeah. Of course, you get the occasional ones, and I remember, you know, years ago when I first started. Initially, it kind of really hurt me, you know, because I took pride in my work, and I thought, why are people like this? And as time's gone on, and you just realize that that's okay. You know, you can let that affect you, Jason, or you can not let it affect you, you know. And so now I don't care anymore. You know, I look at how many people we're servicing. Like, that's what you look at, is who enjoys it. And that's our audience, is who enjoys it, right?
In my settings, you can turn on hold potentially inappropriate comments, and it filters it out. So I've done that.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
And then
It's
I
a
can
good
go
thing.
through it and then just hit delete, you know.
Yeah, and congratulations too on getting your subscribers up to 100.
It's an
100.
achievement. 100.
It is an achievement, mate.
And the next goal is the 1 million, the creator award, because I love YouTube. I love being able to help people with music. As you know, I'm a music channel.
Yeah.
You know.
And you won one award for that too.
Yeah. I wanted the 10,000 cash money, but they just sent the award instead.
Oh.
No.
But congratulations anyway, mate.
No, thank you. Thank you. But that's YouTube's good for productivity, Jason, too.
It's so many things. Like, I can't tell you how many times I actually turn to YouTube if I don't know something or want to find out something. It's like, oh, YouTube it. Let's have a look. Let's see what they say. And it has helped me out countless times, you know, to work a software program, or to do this or to do that, to help with a recording problem or whatever. YouTube, bang, there's the answer. It doesn't take long to find the answer. I love you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, that's so cool that you keep on doing YouTube as well during these challenging times too.
And Steve, I will add too that it's you know, I'm really blessed now, because it's not just me doing the work. I have a team of people now that help me out.
Good on
and the team of people that help me out are absolutely talented, gifted, amazing people, and committed. And so that really helps me. You know, they help run the show behind the scenes production.
Oh, you got to. With email newsletters, I'm thankful that you're sending them to me as well. They're good information.
Thanks, man.
Is that a thing that you've always done, a weekly newsletter? I send mine out monthly. No, it's good information. What inspires you to write your newsletters?
I usually do it on a week by week basis. So all different things inspire me, whether it be for life, that's something that's happened to me or something that I've gone through. And then I found a tool that can help me, that I can share. That sometimes inspires me. Many years ago when I first started, I was only sending out, I sometimes wouldn't send out an email for months. And then I'd just send one out, then I would leave it for a few more months, and I'd send another one out. But it's in the last 2 years, it's been regular. It's like weekly, just a weekly email to help people. Some people like them, some people don't, you know, and that's okay too. Like, we all get lots of, emails on our inbox. And so at all the times we can't read them all, but sometimes you might just go, I'll just check out what such and such has to say today, and click on that and see what it is. So you get those different open rates. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not so good. But I think again, it's about that this is another way that we can serve people, that we can offer something of use.
It's Webtalk as well. You on Webtalk?
Yeah, I have not. I must admit, Steve, I haven't logged in for such a long time now, like a really long time. So
I actually, funny enough, it was a lady who offered it to me because, I've got a very small following on Facebook and I've hit 300 on Webtalk and they're paying with the ad revenue.
Wow. So you finding it okay, Steve?
I love it. I know you're a bit skeptical of it, were you? Like, were you happy about it, or?
No, I was actually on it and using it quite a bit initially, but then again, it was kind of like everything else. When I was spreading myself so thin across all different platforms, I had to let it go. I just had to. I might just check in after this interview and just see how it's going, but. Yeah, I haven't logged into it now for probably a year.
Check out, I left a message on your post as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, because I'm on it because Facebook and Instagram, they know too much about you, Jason, and they're making money from their users. And I've made $5 back on Webtalk as a free member. Facebook wouldn't even give you 1 cent. So I was
that's pretty cool. That is very cool.
And Facebook's an algorithm platform too. And I hate algorithms.
Yeah. That's why I will tell you that was my initial attraction to Webtalk, was the fact that they rewarded their own users. Whereas, Facebook and that, they've only just started it, but you have to have so many thousands of listeners or subscribers or something. But whereas Webtalk were prepared to pay you from the very beginning. And so, yeah, I hope that they're successful. As I said, I just haven't logged on for so long now.
And because what they do, you can post it to your Facebook, Twitter, Slack at the same time. They are working on that. So you can just post it out at once. LinkedIn as well.
Oh, wow.
But I'm happy with it. That's where my audience is, I guess. So I'll focus on that.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing annoying when you live stream to Twitch and only one person's watching you. It's like you might just do a pre-recorded video.
Yeah. Actually, I will tell you, I'm not even on Twitch. I haven't even got on it. So I don't even know. Yeah, that's how I'm not up with that, Steve, to be honest.
Live streaming.
It's pretty good for live streaming.
More for gamers, sometimes podcasters. But if you got your audience on Facebook or Twitter, you go where they are, I guess.
Yeah. I like the background too you've got, by the way.
Yeah, it's the new cover for the podcast.
It's fantastic.
You can see it's got a third eye chakra.
Yeah.
I designed that in Canva.
Oh, did you do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I
good on you.
decided to change the logo, change it up a bit. So
good on you, mate. Happy. Very good.
No, thank you. But that's what frustrates me when we're getting started. Got the talent, the good talented work, putting all the hashtags in Instagram. No one's engaging with it.
Yeah, it's pretty slow to start with. It is slow, and it can be slow for a couple of years. So
I've noticed you too. Like your Instagram should have a bigger following than it does.
Yeah, hopefully one day we can get on top of that too. But yeah, it's like you've got to be committed to maybe one, but focus on one solid one first. Grow an audience on one and make it big, and then start to shift that focus to begin to grow up another one. I think that's how it works.
I'll be on Webtalk.
Because good on you for making that that decision too.
because I
Yeah.
think next year they'll start live streaming, so I'll be able to live stream a
Wow.
podcast and not just feel like I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, of course, man. It's pretty hard, right? I mean, you want, if you do a live stream, it's like kind of nice if you have at least a few people there. I remember doing the live streams initially, and when I first got on and there'd be no one there, and you sort of just going, oh, okay, hopefully someone will come on in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But no, I know. So thank you for giving tips about social media, because I've cut it down to about 10 minutes a day.
Yeah. Well, personally, I think that's a smart move, to be honest, to just allocate so much time and then get off it. Like, because social media, it can be a beautiful thing, but it can overtake our lives too if we're not careful. You know, I've gone through stages of too much social media, and it's been like detrimental. You know, this is personally speaking now, not sort of business wise, but you know, I've taken on too much negativity.
Oh yeah, I find if I'm looking at Facebook or Instagram, I don't mind Twitter or LinkedIn. Or I hate TikTok. I tried TikTok, can't stand it. I got YouTube Shorts. I just start to feel like I'm comparing myself to like other people. You get these pretty women taking selfies of themselves. And it's like I start to feel like shit. So I just have to get rid of it.
Yeah. That's a trap. A trap.
Zuckerberg did this on purpose to get you addicted.
Yeah, well, they have this gamification thing where they actually, they do take that into consideration of how can we get these people back time and time again. And if we're not aware of that, these platforms, I would say honestly that there'd be, if they were to break this down now, there would be many people addicted to these platforms. Some of them. You know, whether it be Facebook or Insta or TikTok, or I think people would be quite shocked, and that's what the software people do, you know. But that's the trap is really not to fall into that, you know, that comparison to other people as well, because that can be a dangerous place, and it's almost like sometimes social media just shows all this good side of people. And so then people say, oh, that person's got this and they've got everything and they look pretty and they look beautiful and they do this and they do that. And unfortunately, that's not good for the soul, you know, to shift our focus there. But I think it's important for us to, when we get on, when we do our shows and our services and that first and foremost, the intention to set before we start is, how can we be of service today? Like, what can we give to those people out there watching us today? And I know for me, a lot of times, like I'll even say a prayer before I go on. It's just like, you know, just please allow me to give the best I can and to reach. Even if I reach one person, just one person, and help to change, you know, help them to be able to change their lives in a better way, then I feel like my job's done.
No, that's awesome. If you can make a living as a meditation teacher, it's far more better.
Yeah.
No, serious, it is. I'd rather support teachers on Insight Timer than any corporation, Jason.
Yeah. Yeah, there's many teachers there too, right? Many brilliant people. Brilliant.
How do you feel about oracle cards and tarot cards? Did you get into all that stuff?
I sometimes, a lady down the road, she has a new age type shop, and sometimes I go down there and sometimes she draws them out on Facebook. Or you can just go down there. I've actually gone to visit her once, And I don't get too much into it, Stephen. But my mind is always open and curious.
Mm-hmm.
And I always think if I can, if she has a chat with me and I can take one thing away, let's go, okay, yeah, okay, that was worth it.
I had a tarot card drawn for me on Insight Timer, but I felt they weren't for me, Jason. I just felt nauseous, started feeling sick. Not for me.
Yeah, good. Yeah, if you know that it's not for you, then you just don't bother with it, right? Because we've all got different things, and I mean, some people really like them, and maybe they get something out of it. But I'm just open to it, but I certainly won't allow that to push my life around. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll make my own decisions.
How's being in South Australia? Were you in a lockdown last year, or did you get a second lockdown in a country town?
We had even out here in this small country town, we got a few lockdowns here. I think they were much shorter than yours, much shorter. I think we only got them. There was one for a couple of weeks. There was one for 3 days, 3 or 4 days. And I think there was another one for about 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe 4 weeks or something. I can't remember. But we escaped it. Touch wood. I don't even want to talk about it because they could happen. Oh no, into lockdown. But yeah, we've been very, very lucky. Very lucky.
No, it's a country town.
Yeah. So I think because South Australia too is a smaller state, we have a smaller population, right, than New South Wales and Victoria and Queensland. And so the more population, the more dense. If something happens, then it spreads more. And we're just lucky here, it's sparse. And so, yeah.
Yeah, who knows? I may end up moving out into the country one day. I'm fed up with Sydney. The housing price is too expensive.
Really? I think, isn't Sydney one of the most expensive places in the world to live? That's what I heard once.
Like an apartment in George Street is you're going to look at $1,000 a week, and you could go to the city of Melbourne in the middle. You'll pay about $440 a week in Melbourne.
Yeah, they're ridiculous prices. They're crazy prices.
That's the rent, obviously.
You would need, basically you would need 2 people contributing to afford to live, unless you were getting on a very good wage, a very good top wage. I don't know how people could live.
You can't. A full-time employee will get about $20 an hour. That's their salary in Kmart. There's no way you'd afford a week's rent in Sydney.
No. They'd have to be in, maybe a house with 3 or 4 rooms all being rented out. It's really difficult. I don't know how they go. I don't know how they survive, Steve, to be honest.
Just be thankful you got a roof over your head, I mean, I live with my grandparents, and look, at least I've got roof. I've got food on the table. I can buy a cup of coffee at a cafe. I'm not broke. I know there's businessmen out there that are flat broke.
Yeah. Right now, I know many people especially in the music field, because they're not playing live music because their concerts are being cancelled. And so I know that, it's hit the music, the entertainment industry.
Very bad,
pretty bad. So it must be very hard for them.
Hospitality too, Jason.
Oh yeah, hospitalities. Yeah, it's rough.
Meditation centers aren't having people. It's all done online now.
Yeah. And that's one thing we must be grateful for. Can you imagine if we didn't have online stuff and we went into these lockdowns? Like, it'd be torturous.
I remember 100 years ago was the Spanish flu. That was a pandemic in Australia. There was no internet.
No, that's right.
There was no vaccine for it as well.
Yeah, correct.
That was a forgotten pandemic. No one talked about it.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Pretty big. Yeah.
I know, crazy.
Crazy times, mate. Crazy times.
Yeah, it'll just pass. We'll just move on from it. And, you know.
I hope so. I hope so. I really do.
But, yeah.
I think the trick in all this, Steve, is I think is, again, about that thing I was talking about with the focusing. Because it's really easy to get caught up in all that's going on, because right at the moment, there's like a lot of division in the country. I sense it. I sense a lot of division, and in particular between vaccinated and unvaccinated. And I think the government almost push a wedge between the population. And this is creating this angst on either side. And I think this is a really important time for us all to, instead of the division, we need to find similarities. We need to find things that, you know, that we respect about each other and that we love about each other. Because if we divide, if we get divided, then you know, it's not good times. And so what we can begin to do is start to focus on what good things are going on. What do you want to create in your life? Do you want this turmoil? And if you don't want the turmoil, then we need to shift our focus away and shift it back to have this, like almost like a tunnel vision, really, and say, I'm not going to be distracted by what the news says or what the media says or what this person says, what my parents say. It's like, make up your mind and stick to it and be focused in your direction. And I think this is a very important time to do that. And, you know, and I'm only saying this because I've gone off track. And so I'm speaking from my heart here. You know, I've gone off track. I got carried away with the division and the angst of it all. And it wasn't until I was listening to the amazing Wayne Dyer, who I dearly love, and I was just listening. I've been listening to his audiobook. I've got probably all his audiobooks. I listen to them going to bed all the time. And I was re-listening to the book called Wishes Fulfilled.
Yeah, I got that on Audible.
Yeah. And I love what he says about that. You know, and it's about this shift, keeping this focused, maintaining your focus at all times, no matter what is going on around you. Because we can so easily just fall into that void of being caught up in the mess. So I think it's
started listening to The Strangest Secret by Elle Nightingale.
Oh,
yeah.
On an audio book?
Yeah, just an MP3 file. And Zig Ziglar, I've been listening to him. I'm rereading Think and Grow Rich again for the third time, actually studying it more. Think and Grow Rich is a really powerful book.
It is, man. Have you also heard of Neville Goddard?
Not yet. He sounds familiar.
Yeah, and he went under the name of just Neville. And he used to give away his teachings. He never even wanted to sell them or anything. He just wanted people to have them and give them away and to many, many people. Now, his books, and I'm pretty sure he's on Audible as well. He's amazing. His work, of course, he's passed on now, but his work is really profound as well. Neville Goddard,
See, I'll admit, I want to be rich. That's what I want. I want money to work for me, you know, passive income. That's what I truly want. But the question, I was on the Spotify green room. I was in that room, and I said, if you had $50 million right now, Jason, what would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what I'd do. I think first is I'd write down a list of all the companies and people that I would want to give most of it to. Obviously, because if we had 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, even 3 million, just say we had that to ourselves, that's more than enough, right? We won't need anything anymore. So I would be looking at writing a list of all the things that you could do with that money to help service and to service people. But yeah, I think it's important not to give, like, just say, oh, this friend of me and that friend of me and that friend of me and that friend of me. I think sometimes we have to be careful with that because sometimes people, we don't know how to spend. If we haven't had much money before in our lives, we don't know how to treat it, right? And I've heard many people winning the lotto and winning 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. And because they've never had that money before, what do? They blow it in no time at all. And then their life ends up being more disastrous than what it was before they won it.
It's weird.
And so, I mean, I would be very careful in, maybe help people out. Maybe you buy, someone wants a holiday, give them a holiday. Maybe someone wants a car, give them a car. Maybe someone, but then create a charity, create your own charity. Have something that leaves a legacy that can continue on and on and on. That I would love to do that. Maybe one day
I'd go and buy a house.
Yes. The first thing, right?
Yeah, and then go traveling actually first class. So that's what I would do. Make sure that I'm taken care of.
Why not? Of course. And I think it's really important, right? We have to take care of ourselves first. We have to look after ourselves. And once we're looked after, then it's really good to look after other people.
No, but it is a good question. What would you do if you had that? It's interesting.
Yeah. It's a question to think about. Look, I've got to tell you, there was one time when I think it was Australia's biggest lottery. It was a few years back now. I think it could have been, was it 80 million or some ridiculous amount. And I went in that, and I actually thought I was going to win it, right? And I remember thinking, okay, sit down now, Jay, start writing out what you're going to do. And so I was writing all these lists of all the people and the names and the companies and what I was going to do. And I swear I'd almost convinced myself that I was going to win it. I didn't win it, but it was a good little fun exercise to split up that $80 million and see what where you're going to put it.
Nice. Yeah. No, that's it. That's all you could do, instead of listening to negative garbage on TV and soap operas out there. But no, it's YouTube's going to be a great journey starting out for me, and hopefully you're looking to push it to the next creator award, or what's your goals with YouTube?
Yeah, well, we're starting a new platform soon, a new company, like a separate company called Zen Royalty Free. And we've actually started the little YouTube channel, but it's only, we haven't sort of pushed it much at all because the website hasn't opened yet. But as soon as the website's open, then we'll put out that music more and more.
So Zen Royalty Free, is this for people to use this music and publish it to meditation platforms?
Yes, correct.
So do people pay a yearly fee or monthly? How it work?
No, they buy the track, a one-off track.
Yeah.
Just one-off, and then they never pay again.
Because some of them you can subscribe yearly and they give it to you, but that's so they could just buy one track. How long will the track be? Is it 3 hours?
It's 15-minute, half an hour, and 1 hour tracks at this time. Yeah,
they can buy it and they can edit it however they want.
Yeah, they could loop it. They can make it shorter, longer. Yeah, put their voice over the top of it. So it's been a little project I've been working on, or we've been working on now for well over a year, year and a half. And I think it's going to happen next month, October.
Yeah, look forward to hearing about it. And any of the listeners want to, check it out, go for it.
Yeah. So it'll be called Zen Royalty Free. So just keep in about probably, let's say 6 weeks, it should be definitely up and running.
Yeah, just love to see more work from you to go to Insight Timer as well, if you can.
Yes, mate. Yes. And if you get one, please let me know.
Mm-hmm.
If you get on one of the platforms, I want to check it out too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could publish a course on Insight Timer, that'll be awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve. Thank you, mate.
But what's next for you? Like, what are you working on now, or what are you planning?
Well, to be honest with you, mate, for me, it's I'm actually in the process of stepping down from being the CEO of the company.
Mm.
And the reason why is I want to begin to focus more on the creative aspect, to continue to do my meditations, but to focus on the recording, to focus on more face to camera stuff. And so I can let other people take over the admin side of things and the side that I'm not the best at.
I'm the same. I'm very creative, Jason. I'm looking for a CEO for my company, Shiels Productions, in the future.
Yeah,
you can't do
really,
it all yourself.
No, exactly. And if you can just get, just that even one person to begin to help you, just one person, it really can help. It really
things
helps.
like, I know what you mean, paperwork. I've tried bookkeeping. I hated it. Business administration.
Me too.
Yeah. Or when you fill out a grant for the government and all the paperwork. That's the stuff that I hate. I hate it. Give it to someone, pay someone to do that,
Yeah, some people love that, you see, and that's the good thing, is you can pay someone to do that and hand it off.
The only thing for me with YouTube, I'm using Morning Fame, to put all the keywords in, but I don't mind doing that, to put in the tags.
On YouTube.
Yeah, it's got an SEO, like TubeBuddy and VidIQ, but Morning Fame. It's more for smaller channels.
Okay, I've never heard of that.
It just teaches you don't keyword stuff, and
you got to do the right thing by YouTube. That's for sure. But yeah, I look forward to seeing your channel grow. Actually,
you will.
Yeah, good on you.
It's fun. It's
and get that $1 million too.
I do. I want to make a living off YouTube, or actually in the podcast, Bandcamp, the music royalties.
Yeah.
I distributed with CD Baby because I paid for the standard submission.
Yes.
So I'm happy. They are a bit.
Yeah. Spread it out right across. Yeah.
They're a bit costly. We're talking nearly $50 for an album.
Yeah. It is for an album, right? But I mean, there's another trick to that, is to get them, if you want to distribute lots of music, to class it as a single. And remember that you can still class it as a single, but when it gets to iTunes and that, because of the length of it, they will class it as an album. And so I don't know, you might have to look into that. I haven't checked it for a while, but I know that's what we were doing. But yeah.
But they are good, or if you can get when they give you the coupon codes, 25% off.
Yeah, and I love how they just distribute it out to everywhere. That really helps.
I had a problem with Ditto Music, was my other distributor. They make you pay the yearly subscription, but if you don't pay, they'll just take all your work down.
Which one was that?
Ditto Music.
Okay, I don't know that one.
I was pissed off.
Yeah.
It's not fair. It's
no.
But, yeah. But I want to say thanks for coming back on the podcast too, Jason.
It's good to talk to you, Steve.
I'd love to have you back on again.
Thanks, mate.
But anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
Oh, I just want to say, what I want to say is, whatever you want to achieve, that breathe, believe, receive. Take a breath, set your intention. And I truly do believe that we have much more power over our lives than what most of us believe. And so I think if, like you've got this intention, and I actually don't doubt for a second that you can get what you want in life. You can achieve what you want in life. And especially if you want to, be of service, you want to reach people, help out other people, share your skills. I think, if you've got that intention, then, and you've got that love for it, then the sky's the limit. So that goes for you, Steve, but that goes for everyone. I really think that. I know that. Let me tell you, just before I go quickly, I remember always saying to my parents, because I was broke for most of my life. I was always behind in rent. I had no money. I had a MasterCard bill. I was terrible with money, like really bad.
I'm not the best with it either.
Yeah, but I always kept saying, Mum would say, "Oh, you got to pay your debt." I'd say, "Mum, don't worry. By the time I'm 50, I'm going to be a millionaire. But don't worry about it. I know it's all going to be okay one day." And you know what? I knew in my heart that this would all work out, but I didn't. And so I kept just saying it. "Oh, by the time I'm 50, I'm going to be a millionaire." Well, 50's come. I'm not going to say I'm a millionaire, but what I can say is I have no more problems with money. And so it was true. I was saying an affirmation to myself over and over again. By the time I'm 50, I'm going to be a millionaire. Oh, I think I was saying, by the time I'm 50, I'm going to live the life of a millionaire. That's all I said. And I can honestly tell you, I am living the life of a millionaire. Well, I'm not doing much, but this is my idea of the life of a millionaire. I'm enjoying myself. I have beautiful fields across the road that I can see.
Good on you.
I have, I'm happy. I have friends and family and a business, and I couldn't be happier. And so what you wish for can be what you get.
Exactly. Thanks so much, Jason.
Thanks, Steve.